Guys, welcome to another Title Tuesday recap. I'm recording this right after I finished this Title Tuesday on February 11. In the first round I was playing against an opponent from, is it Ecuador? Nah, Venezuela actually. Yeah, bad with geography, apologies for my Venezuelan fans. So, knight f5 is played on the board. And I want you to try and find the winning move for white pieces to make it easier for you. This is what I missed. Knight f5, my plan was to alright, I trade queens off the board, but I forgot about a very important nuance. In the following position, this queen is protected by this rook on d8. This queen instead actually pins this pawn on g6 with this king. So knight f5 is actually a terrible move, and it is a terrible move because here basically, let's say, rook is the only piece that attacks this queen, and this rook is kinda, tries to defend both pieces at once. And here white had knight f5, and the point is, of course, I would lose immediately, as basically rook f5, white take the queen, and if I just, let's say, move my king, let's say to h7, queen h6, queen g7 is a checkmate. But what happened in the game, my opponent reached the following endgame, knight endgame 5 on 5, and I walked my king all the way to b3, and now it turns out that this pawn is about to fall. Knight goes to b1, knight d2, knight d2, king a3, king c2, knight a4, and here he simply lost on time. That's how I won the first game, 1-1. Let's get to round number 2. In round number 2, I was playing against FIDE master from Iran, and we reached the following position. I'm down a pawn in the endgame, the position is collapsing, and once again try to find the best move for black pieces here. A very cool move, very exciting one. So basically what black wants is they want us to take this queen on c2 and then simply promote the pawn. But unfortunately, I don't have to take this queen, so I'm just trying to hold some pressure here. But there is a move which kind of leaves me with no, basically no choice. And this move, I hope you found it. It's brilliant. Bishop a3, and the problem is the game just ends right here. Because b takes a3, how it was in the game, takes, b2, I simply admitted my loss as this queen promotes, and he wins the game, 1 out of 2. Let's get to round number 3. In round number 3, I was playing against National Master from Turkey. We reached the following position where I'm up in exchange, but still white have some, small chances. But unfortunately, instead of going for queen f4, attacking g6 opponent, there is a lot of counterplay and it's not that clear. My opponent was a bit greedy and played queen c5. And here I found a brilliant decision. As you might see, Evil Bar goes absolutely wild. So as you might see here, it goes at the point of 0.53, and after queen c5 move, which was made by white, you can see the Evil Bar just jumping lower and lower. It's getting to -4 basically. It's basically over at this point, because black, if you haven't found it, try to find it, but it's the move queen a2. And the point here, guys, is that there is no danger to my king on g8, and I'm threatening queen a1 and take the rook on h1, and it is not the only threat in this position, as there is also knight b3 forks, and if king tries to escape through, let's say, d2, there is queen b2, there is knight b3, you will win the queen, will win the game. The game continued with knight d4, takes, bishop d4, I captured, and soon, of course, the game ended after basically, he was flagged again. Basically, rook a1 is a checkmate being threatened. It's a lower, it's checkmate in 10. White lost on time. So 2 out of 3. Let's get to round number 4. In round number 4, I was playing against strong Grandmaster Rosen Akabyan. And once again, I want you to find the best move in the following position. It basically took white 2 moves in this position for me to resign. I had some chances during the game, but he just played absolutely perfect. I couldn't really take advantage and just lost. That's a fair result, but here white can deliver an absolute masterpiece. That's actually, kind of, this Grandmaster move. I mean, it's not that hard to find. I mean, a lot of players on my level would find it, and I would find it, let's say, probably easy, because once I played Rook C8, I just saw it immediately, because I just wanted to protect my rook, and I just couldn't do anything. So I want you to try and think, what is the best move here? I'll give you a hint. So knight on e2 is not doing anything, and queen on e6 is now protecting this rook on c8, and there is a way to get this queen off this long diagonal. And of course, I mean, from the moves we consider, like knight f4 is not playable, and just we have no choice but to play d5, which was played in the game. And the idea is pretty simple, guys. The point is, if queen takes d5, now queen is deflected and white simply pick up a rook on c8 and win the game. If c takes d5, there is spin on this file. It's not possible. It's basically resignable. And if I play queen f5, how it played in the game, I knew it was losing anyways, because once c6 pawn falls, I mean c7, it's all over. Queen f5, knight d4, I simply admitted my loss, because basically knight f5 is coming, it's all over from now. Yeah, just the level showed itself, chess speaks for itself. I lost. Now let's speak about round number 5. In round number 5, I was playing against Polish FIDE master, and we got the following very exciting position. You might actually be wondering why black are not taking this knight on d2. They could take this knight on d2. Just to show you what might have happened here is rook d2, and what I play here is bishop g7, queen g7, queen g7, king g7, and now rook c7 is double attack on king and bishop, so we maintain equality. The better move in the position here would have been e5. Just lock this diagonal, and the point is, guys, here, if knight e5 is played, taking this rook d2, right? So this knight first has to go somewhere. Computer says bishop a3 is, move that deserves attention, because after rook d2 there is apparently queen c3, attacking both knight and rook, and it's still equal. So after e5, bishop a3, there is h5, pushing the knight back, knight h2, and only now rook d2, because after queen c3 there is rook e2, let's say bishop b4, queen f6, and there is a huge pressure on f2 pawn, even though rook f1, rook a2, black pick up a pawn on a2. So black would have maintained some edge here, but unfortunately after rook c1 they blundered by playing knight d3. And the problem of knight d3 now is that this knight blocked the way to this knight on d2, and now in some lines rook is not able to capture, and now I can safely take on g7. I played bishop g7, and the point is, guys, knight c1 was played in the game and knight h6 finished with a checkmate, but there's always but. There was queen g7. And the point is here, now, as I said, this rook was blocked by its own piece on d3. And now rook c7 just ends the game, because I pick up a bishop on b7. And let's say, just for, as an example, rook b7, knight c5, looks like this knight is being attacked. Just rook c7, attacking the knight back. It's a winning game. Let's get to round number 6. I don't think game against Eric Rosen was on your bingo card, but yeah, here it is. I played Eric Rosen in Title Tuesday event. My score against Eric right now, I don't want to spoil things, but it's 6-0. That's kind of bad. The point is, that's a worse position. Alright, it's still holdable probably, but it is a worse position. Here, I'm not sure why, maybe just, some tiredness. kind of appears to the end of the tournament. Even though it's like round number 6, it's still like, you know, you play it, and the more you play it, the worse it gets. I play king f4. So my plan was here basically just to move my king back and forth. What I forgot about, what I completely missed, is that there is just simple, very simple move which wins the game. So basically, what you gotta pay attention as to is, let me just flip the board for you. There is like this e5 in many lines. And here, Eric delivered brilliant knight sacrifice, but it's only temporary. The point is, if I take on d4 back, there is e5, and I lose a rook and playing down an exchange in the endgame. Of course, it would have been lost. The best move is, of course, to go this way just to escape, but you know, I ended up checkmating myself here. Rook f3 is a checkmate. Unfortunate loss, you know, I didn't really have chances throughout the game. Eric played a perfect game, actually. Eric played like 96.3 accuracy versus 86.5 of mine. It is what it is. Yeah, I lost, but let's get to round number 7. Round number 7, another CM from Great Britain, and I would like you to try and find the best move here for white pieces. They're currently down a piece, but I just want to show you how it happened. So basically, there were a lot of piece trades, takes, queen. I'm showing it from white side just so you can kind of get a sense of what's going on here. Takes, and now there is a little nuance. So I want you to find the best move here for white. If you set queen d5 and just recapturing the piece, unfortunately it's wrong. It's how the game continued, and it is actually a blunder. We'll see in a second why. But what's the best way? There is still a pin on d-file, so you gotta just use it. And c4 makes perfect sense. You just put extra pressure on this bishop on d5, and now if bishop moves back, you just take and remain up a pawn. There is a weakness on b7. You might actually end up winning this chess game, but after bishop c6 there is also queen c3 check, and black are simply losing. So after c4, queen a4 is passed, and c takes d5. It just, you know, equal position somehow. Yeah, I would still be kind of, you know, scared of this d pawn, because look, passed pawn. There's still queen and rook supporting it, so might be a bit dangerous. But my opponent, as probably some of you might have said, played queen d5. What appears to be a huge blunder, and it is a huge blunder because we can, you know, initiate a deflection tactic by playing rook e1, basically trying to make sure this rook takes and we take the queen back as this rook leaves the protection square of d5. And my opponent continued with king g2, and of course there is nothing else to spectate. I traded off queens off the board and won the game, as here he simply resigned. 4 out of 7, not bad, right? Let's get to the next game. This was probably the most this is the game where like the rest of my titles usage just went wrong. Like I was 4 out of 7. If I ended up winning this game 5 out of 8, I mean 5 out of 8 is a good result after 8 rounds. Like you have 3 more and potentially score 7 points, which is like huge at this level. But, you know, completely winning position, I'm up a pawn. I mean, I'm not sure if any of you watched Title Tuesday that Tuesday, but, you know, it's just some of the moments where I just can't explain why I didn't play this move. And, you know, the move I played, of course my position is still alright. I mean, I shouldn't lose that, but you'll see what I did. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So here I want you to try, I played g takes f5, which is of course a wrong decision. The easy move was of course king f4, and I'm not sure, like my brain just stopped working at some point. Like I lost to Eric Rosen, then I beat the guy, then I played another game with white pieces and have a great opportunity to actually take advantage by playing king f4 and then just capture it with my own pawn, just win a game. It's so easy. I play g takes f5 and basically lose all my advantage. So as you might see, evil bar going from like what is it, +5 to +0.37, which is absolutely nothing. And what happened later in the game, and once again, we reached the following position, and again, you know, now, you know, it's kind of dangerous, 2 pawns versus 2 pawns, but my pawns are kind of good. I had bishop f2, bishop h4, makes perfect sense. There was also some king d5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean, completely winning position. The point is, guys, I'm playing king d6, I'm playing king d7, and I promote pawn e7. What I did instead is just a bit stupid. Bishop e6. My plan was to go bishop d8 and just, you know, win. Play bishop b4. I play king d4, takes, king c4, and this is a draw position. This is just a draw, that draw, and you will not believe, like, all right, I'm playing bishop e8. It is a draw. Like, all I need is just stop. After bishop 7, bishop c7, like, this is type of moment which I can't explain to you, like, as to why this happened. Like, I thought maybe man, the point is, this comes with check. Guess what I played? I played bishop d8. I was like, oh man, I'll play a7, e8, I'm up a piece. But, alright, I wasn't thinking that. But the point is, I just, again, it's just sometimes my brain stops thinking. I can't even explain this, you know? Like, again, it would be 4.5 out of 7, which is not that bad. Again, like, you have a potential to go for 7 points if you play well enough, but it just, like, it all goes wrong at some point. h2, and of course, my opponent ended up winning on move 72, as checkmate is incoming for the fate. But, you know, the problems didn't stop there. Let's get to round number 9. Alright guys, this game was probably one of the most interesting of the entire event I had. So I played h5. My idea is to push h4 and just, you know, trying to get this knight away. The problem here that I noticed right away that there is like a very, very sacrifice, which is knight f5, which appeared to be bad. But, you know, you look at it, like, she takes f5, rook g3, knight just7, queen h5, and you're a bit scared. And to tell you one thing, there is only one defensive move here, which I managed to find. So initially, when I was calculating all of this, like, I was just trying to find some defense. If I play queen e6, it is just losing due to the fact that knight f3 is coming and knight f5 is just unstoppable threat. And the best move according to computer here is to play bishop e2, which is of course completely losing. As you might see, the evil bar is showing huge advantage to white pieces. But there is a move which saves the day for me. If my rook was somewhere in a8, it wouldn't be possible, but here I have rook c6, a rook lift. In this specific case, it's a defensive rook lift, as I'm trying to reroute my rook to g6 and just trade this dangerous rook off the board. He played knight d3, of course, pressing my pawns, but again, I found the best defensive maneuver, which was bishop d3, and now I don't let this knight take on f5. And you know what the problem here for white is? They can't go rook h3. It looks like they're going to check my next move, but knight attacks the queen still, and right now it can't take it due to the fact that this is pinned. So my idea is to bring my rook to g6 and just like get rid of this rook at all costs. And surprisingly, I played well enough, and you know, my pieces are in perfect harmony, and I was able to set up some threats: queen b1, rook c2, queen d1, checkmate. And you know, I kept on analyzing this game long time, and in round number 10 I started with 2 minutes down on the clock. Let's get to it. As you might see, I had 7 seconds on move 16, and it all happened due to the fact that I kept on analyzing my freaking game from round number 9, which I won, which I shouldn't have analyzed for so long. And you know, the result of this game would be probably different, because of course I would lose, man. I'm not Magnus after all. Like, I had chances, I didn't use my chances. As you might see, I had actually great advantage, and my opponent was playing pretty fast. he was just probably trying to flag me, and it's just super painful. Like, I felt so bad after this game. Like, here I want you to try to find the best moves. I was calculating both of them and decided not to go for any of them. So queen d3 is one of the options, just to attack this knight on c4, and it's very unclear what to do with it, because let's say knight goes to d6, there is knight d5, and it's just like a huge trouble potential on b file, on this long diagonal. It's just over. So I played a5, and now black have no problems. This is type of position where, one move and you're cooked. And I made everything possible for black myself, because I let him set up this kind of blockade on light squares. Like, for perfect harmony, c6 gotta be played. Of course, it's not a good move, but overall, it's just like I have no play, and soon we appeared in the following position where, of course, no chance. You know what? I was calculating like b takes a6, let's say rook a6, and black decided to take on h5 using the pin. I was like, maybe he'll blunder it and I'll play rook d6, happily take the piece, attacking the rook, right, and c takes d6 and h5. But I was like, alright, he played b6, unfortunately, he didn't miss it. I wish he could, but, he had more than enough time to calculate this. And yeah, I didn't really have chances, and, just simply resigned at move 40. 5 out of 10. Terrible, but let's see the round number 11. Guys, you know what? I think it will be great for us to kind of, because I'm trying to play new openings. I'm trying to play new openings every single game, and in the last round, I decided to play King's Indian for the first time in my life against a title player, against very strong opponent, something I haven't done before. And you can suggest me in the comments what you want me to play. I might analyze it and play it in the next Idle Tuesday, so we might actually, not something crazy, not Bone Clouds, something that I can actually play for a win. So this game went quite well till a certain point. I played all moves of Fury, surprisingly for me, because I think I have seen something like knight c6 in some videos of someone, and I decided to play it on. Knight e7, I was surprised at all books moves. Like, I was like, what the hell, I have never played it in my life, and surprisingly, I played 10 moves of Fury. At least it tells me something that somewhere in my, in my head I have these moves, memorized. So knight f4, bishop e3, and this is where, it all kind of goes sideways. F5, rook goes to c1, and it's quite a typical play here for both colors. Like, white are trying to play on queen side, I'm trying to attack on the king side, and it's getting messy. Like, I played takes f4, and here I was like, alright, I probably have seen g5 idea. I realized it's not that good. I should have prepared it and played h6, g5, g4, but instead, alright, Romkachess doesn't play, solid. Romkachess plays for attack, Romkachess plays nonsense, plays g5. And now, of course, it's a blunder. And from now on, it was just like one-way game. I didn't really have chances. F3, in c8, like no chance of winning whatsoever. It just proves again how strong players in Title Tuesday are. It's just like, you give them one chance, you're done. And basically, yeah. Now queen enters, no chance. Rook c8, does rook 5. Yeah, takes rook, wins the game. 5 out of 11. Unfortunately, that is a score of the Title Tuesday. I played next week, guys. There will be no Title Tuesday recap as I'm playing in OTB tournaments. There will be OTB tournament recaps, hopefully vlogs and all that stuff. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed. Any feedback will be appreciated. See you soon. Bye bye.